What's going on, YouTube? Sox Arizona, welcome to the channel. Appreciate you hanging out with me this time. It is October 13th, and we are just a couple days away from the ALCS. Today, we have a guest from one of your homes of Red Sox baseball on YouTube. Please welcome Beantown Breakdown to the channel. How you doing?
What's up, Sox Arizona? What's up, man? How are you guys doing?
Glad you could join me on the channel today. Just so you guys know, we figured this out earlier today. We are going live on Beantown Breakdown's channel for the game, ALCS Game 1 on Friday. What's the time on that game?
It is 8:07 Eastern
8:07.
Standard Time. So 8:07, I believe that would be 5:07 Pacific.
Yep, that would be 5:07 over here. Welcome to the stream, guys. If you're watching later on, welcome to the video. We're just going to go over our playoff run so far, look a little deep dive into the Astros, maybe their injuries. We talked a little bit about that earlier. Let's start with the game that you went to. How was the game?
Oh, it was electric, man. You could tell that this Red Sox team is riding a massive momentum wave, and it's momentum in the playoffs is a very powerful thing. Because even teams that may be lesser on paper or even the same on paper, you look, towards who's carrying that, who's carrying the bigger momentum, and that plays a massive role. The Sox have a ton of momentum headed into this game. They took care of Tampa in three straight. They downed the first one and just took care of business in three straight. And then they, if you even go back farther than that, the Yankee game, they won that convincingly and carried that momentum is a very, very powerful thing in the playoffs, especially in baseball.
Yeah. And like you said, like we talked about earlier, it seems like everybody in the lineup, like Kike Hernandez is balling right now. Alex Verdugo, Rafael Devers hits the cover off the baseball. I'm pretty sure he has the most hard hit balls in all of baseball for the last 3 years or something like that.
The average exit velocity of his home runs is like 107.
And the MLB average is what, 104?
104, yeah. He hits the cover off the ball. And
yeah.
When he hits home runs, like they're not like, oh, I wonder if it's a home run. He hits the ball and it's just like, yeah, that's a no doubter. You look at it and it leaves in a hurry. So
the thing I worry about with Rafael Devers, and we've seen it recently, and welcome to the stream, Tony. I appreciate you joining us. Let me know if the audio is good as well. As some more people see that we're live, let me know, Tony, if the audio is good. This is our first time with a collaboration. The first time
the audio
we saw
good on my end.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't hear any echo. It sounds good.
So with Devers, I was saying we saw this early on in the playoffs. It's been a thing with him. Not only the defense, which he has improved a lot on defense. I'm so proud of that guy at third base at the hot corner. But the offense,
this whole year has been good for him. Like that's a huge improvement.
Yeah, development wise, he's going to be here for a while. Okay, Tony says it's fine. Perfect. The fastball, swing and misses with him. We see it with Dahlbeck. Chavis has struggled. He's been in and out of the roster. What do you think about Devers and the high fastball?
The high fastball has been his kryptonite all year, and I'm surprised people don't pitch him that more.
Right.
I'm actually surprised they don't stay up high in the strike zone with him for pretty much the entirety of the at bat.
Because he'll go way up. He'll go way up.
All of his home runs that you see him hit, they either try and challenge him just straight on with a fastball, thinking they can get it by him, and they underestimate how fast he can actually get that bat around, or it's they throw it letter high and higher, and he swings and misses.
Right.
He's got a thing where it's up around the letters. He just likes to go after it, and it's definitely been a kryptonite. I haven't seen him, although the last month, I think it's gotten better, but he still does chase the high stuff.
I think it's gotten better over the last month too, like the discipline of not chasing that. Like anybody that's played baseball, that high fastball looks like a watermelon coming in. And
it's tough not to go at. It really is tough not to go after.
So tough
pitch.
And like, you don't know when it's coming in hot. If it's at your neck, I mean, you still think it's hittable, and it's not. They always say it. That high fastball is unhittable, but it looks like the opposite with JD Martinez, that down and away, the changeups, the sliders. He has good discipline on those fastballs, but it seems like both of them have been able to flatline a little bit.
Yeah. Well, partially, I don't blame a lot of the issues with JD because the guy is, just from the games that I've like watched live and gone to see, he's given it everything he has. The guy is, and I kid you not on this. He's literally running around out there on one ankle.
Right.
That's got to be a high ankle sprain. When he hit one of those doubles, that should have been a triple. But when he rounded first base, it was like watching a freight train go down the tracks. Just the labor in him running to second was blatantly obvious. Like, he's out there on one ankle trying to do damage. And when you're
he's doing damage,
when with him, with the DHs, they try and drive baseballs. That's their job. It's to, whether it's, hit it off the monster or, hit it out if you can.
Right.
But you can't drive a baseball on one leg.
And he's still,
because power comes from, your power comes from it's the entire body in a swing. And if you can't drive forward on one of your ankles, it's not good.
Right. And he's still hitting the baseball.
And that's what's most impressive about it, is he's still hitting doubles and home runs. It might just be not at the frequency that we would like, but he's still hitting doubles and home runs on one leg.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that guy, man. He's a freight train, like you said. Shout out to the cat, man.
Seriously?
Making a guest appearance. Let's start with the Yankees game. Going into the Yankees game, it seemed like everybody on earth was taking the Yankees. And like, I know they were up and down all season. They had a roller coaster season. I think we won 8 or 9 of the first games that we played against them. But everybody had the Yankees going in there, and we routed them 6-2. It was no question. We dominated those boys.
Oh, that was a no doubter. That game was a no doubter. A lot of people weren't picking them, I think, simply because of what they did to that team prior in that 3-game series where they just swept them and made them look silly.
Yeah, they really did.
So
how about Evaldi in that game?
A huge part of that is why they were, just the prior series. They weren't really thinking about how they match up. The Sox match up better with them in a 1-game series because they can, I think Alex Cora can outmanage Aaron Boone in his sleep.
Easy money.
But so that's why, like, I was headed into that series, and I wasn't too worried because Boone's an idiot, and I knew at some point he was going to screw it up for them.
That guy's bad for baseball, man.
Pretty much the whole game was a screw up. Like, Cora managed circles around him, and easily got that win.
I don't understand how Boone can sit there and say our guys are savages in the box. That guy stinks, man. He really does.
Aaron Boone is a joke. He's more than 50% of the reason why they lost that game.
And like, I get why Yankees fans like him. The home run, the grand slam in the playoff game against the Red Sox. I don't even think they won the World Series that year. But I'll take Girardi. If I'm a Yankees fan, I'll take Girardi over Aaron Boone. I bet they're missing him.
Come on, hold on a sec. 1 sec.
You're good.
This. We got to get the best quality out of this we can. There we go.
Take your time, man. But like I was saying, if you're a Yankees fan, you need Boone out of town. You're wishing Girardi could come back in a heartbeat.
Yeah, dude, absolutely, 100%.
While Bobby, do you want me to take you off and have you fix that?
Yeah. See, so I can here. Watch this. Right. Let me do this. Hold on. I'll still be on audio. Give me 1 sec. There we go. All right, let me fix. So
There you
I'll
go.
still be here, guys. I'm just not going to be on video until I get
There
a
you go.
workout.
So as you guys go ahead.
It's we outmanaged the Yankees. That was clearly. I mean, Cora just outmanaged them, and they were in a 1-game series. They were going to beat them anyways.
I don't think there's any question about it. It just blew my mind that how many people had the talking heads were taking New York and the fan base. We clearly dominated the Yankees this year. Nathan Eovaldi is a playoff pitcher, no question about it. That dude, I want him on the mound for every single game. It feels like, but
if there's a high pressure situation, I'm calling.
Go to Nate. I don't care what spot you're in.
Number.
Yeah,
I would call. Here's a hot take for you. I would call his number before Sale.
Dude, to start a game, especially elimination game, 100%. And what I'm saying is, if he doesn't start, why not bring Nathan Eovaldi out to pitch 3 innings on the back end?
If it was Game 7, I would throw him. If he's not starting Game 7, he's definitely in. He's definitely going to be the first one up in relief.
If we're tied in a Game 7, I want Nasty Nate on the mound.
He's got the attitude that we hoped Chris Sale would have.
I like the Chris Sale attitude still. It seems like he gets in his own head. Like, I get getting pissed off about missing pitches, but he starts getting mad at himself and it snowballs.
Yeah. No, I hear that.
Tony Clark says Sox have to worry about Alvarez, but let's see. Sox have to worry about Alvarez, but good that Astros #1 starter may not be ready.
So I don't know if have you heard what he's talking about? I heard.
No.
I looked this up earlier. McCullers had Tommy John in 2018, I believe, right?
Yes. Yep.
He left the mound yesterday after only 3 or 4 innings with severe elbow soreness.
Really?
And he's listed as day-to-day. And they talked about it in an Astro press conference that they are uncertain whether or not he's going to go.
Is he supposed to be the Game 1 starter?
Yeah. He's their ace, dude. He's their best pitcher. McCullers is their ace. So that's their potential ace. No, so let's say he does pitch. He ain't 100%. He ain't even close.
No. Especially if they're saying it's extreme soreness in his elbow.
Yeah, it was bad. They said he was lucky to even pitch the 3 or 4.
So he only lasted 3 or 4. Wow. Okay.
And
Sox haven't announced a starter either.
He was done.
Wow. Okay. So the Sox haven't announced a starter either. So who's it going to be for Game 1?
I don't know. They used a bunch of their. I would maybe.
Because you used Pivetta up, didn't you? And then
maybe they. So if it's Friday, Sale. How much would that be? 3
Sale.
days?
We haven't seen Sale, have we?
So it might be Sale.
Okay.
It might be Chris Sale.
I would say Sale, and then Eovaldi's had enough rest, right?
But that's like Chris Sale's postseason. I looked this up, right? Chris Sale's postseason ERA is 7.27. That's not good, man. That's
not good at all.
Really bad.
And he's starting against the #1 lineup in all of baseball.
One of the best hitting lineups in the league.
Okay, so do we go to Nasty Nate? Do we go to Pivetta? I mean, Game 1 on the road,
If Sale struggles, I'm okay with using Houck.
I love Houck out of the bullpen. We talked about this before the stream.
This game, I think game 1. These 2 games in Houston are going to be extremely important. We need to win. We need to win at least one of those games, whether it's the first one or the second one. We need to. I'm okay with us stealing the first one and then getting the second one.
Yeah. I mean, like we talked about, they're not going to win a game in Boston.
No,
you said, you were part of that Fenway Park energy. Those fans literally broke the microphone when Kike hit that ball. I mean, the place is rocking.
I had friends watching it, and they said you couldn't hear the call of you couldn't hear the final call because it was so loud in the stadium.
I'm sure you've rewatched the broadcast of it.
Like 16, 18 times.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Just like every other good Red Sox playoff moment, that place is rocking.
They just I can't see them losing any one of those. Houston has to hope and pray that they get both games in Houston to start.
Yeah. And that's a good point from Tony. He says Dusty Baker never wins the World Series.
But see, I give like we have the better manager too.
He's the best manager in baseball as far as I'm concerned. Look at 2018. Look at 2017.
There have been very few games this season where I have been like, okay, he had a bad game.
Yeah,
maybe like 5 through the whole year, where I questioned some of his decisions, but that's it. 5 out of 160 plus. That's not bad.
The only thing that I thought was questionable with him was how quick he is with the hook. And it seems to work, though. It seems to work because that offense is so good.
But I would rather pull a guy too soon than leave him in there and let him give up. Like the Brazier situation. The guy, he should, after the first hit, that first big hit in the last game, he should have yanked him after that. He could have.
I agree.
He should. That's the one time where everybody was like, all right, get him out. And then they hit that big double. Rosarena hit that big double.
Yep.
And it was like, no, excuse me. Rosarena hit first, and then Franco hit another, and then Franco hit right behind him and hit again.
Okay. Yeah.
And that was
Brazier's got to be done right there.
After Rosarena got the hit, he should have been. That should have been it. After he hit the double, that should have been it. But he's good. He's good, man. There's not been very many times where I've been like, that was a bad decision, and he's good.
Yeah, he's a solid baseball manager. I'm happy they brought him back. And I was surprised to see them bring him back, by the way, after all that stuff.
I knew they were going after him again. I knew they were waiting for that storm to die down a little bit, and then they would start renegotiating and talking to him again.
It seems to make sense now, but all the attention that baseball was getting for that cheating scandal, I mean, hey, I'll take it. I love Alex Cora. He's my guy. I was a little bit surprised to see, but now that we've learned that he had his fingers in the pudding the whole entire time, even that whole 2020 season, he was right in the mix with the guys, calling them, texting them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I guess
he admitted it. He admitted it too, which was, he owned it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a Red Sox manager, man. That's what he is.
He owned it. Well, that's I respect him for it. You know what I mean? The guy owned it. He said he made a mistake and took his punishment, and they said, don't do it again, and we'll welcome you back. And them stinking Astros that like, they didn't own it. They fought it. They fought that tooth and nail until the end.
They're still fighting it to this day, man. And like, I'm sure Fenway will give them the business too when they come to town.
Oh, there was some entertaining chants that were not so camera friendly, but they were quite entertaining, directed towards the Tampa Bay Rays bench.
Yeah. I can't wait for that.
It's the typical Boston, like, welcome to Boston, man. Welcome to a hostile playoff environment.
Yeah. So that reminds me, Tom Brady coming to town last week and a half ago.
Yeah.
I heard they were super nice to him when he came out on the field.
Pre-game and post-game, they booed him when they booed him.
During the game.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
During the game. Yeah.
Yeah. That is
Welcome
awesome.
to
That's
Boston,
classic.
man.
I love it, man. Before the game starts, hey, thank you for what you did. I appreciate it. 20 years. Game starts, man. It's blood. It's blood on the field.
You're wearing the other team's jersey, man. You're the enemy.
And just the quick hug from Bill Belichick. It's that's classic, man.
Yeah, no, they both understood what each one of them meant to one another. They get it. Never mind all the noise in the media. They don't care about that. They both understand without one another they wouldn't be that successful.
Yeah.
Period. But this is huge, man. Because me personally, I think whoever wins this series is going to win the World Series.
I really do too. And like, if we steal one game in Houston, this series is over. I'm telling you right now, the momentum, like you said, playoff momentum is unreal in baseball. Best fans in baseball. What better can you ask for, man?
I mean, in my honest opinion, we have the better manager. Our pitching is a wash. It's pretty much the same. And our hitting's coming in red hot.
Yeah.
This is a game of whose bats can stay hot longer, who can hit. It's going to be a war of attrition. Who can hit the ball long, who can hit for longer, Schwarber and Kike at the beginning of the lineup have been phenomenal. A player that everyone gets aggravated at, but he was the freaking hero in the 13 inning. Everybody gets really aggravated with Christian Vasquez and how he hits, he hits like 230, 250 on the year. But I think what a lot of people need to understand is his defensive ability and his ability to call a game from behind the plate. Because don't get it, the catchers call the game. They're the one telling the 100%. Pitchers what to throw, where to throw, where to throw it. They call the real games. Vasquez has been brilliant this postseason behind the plate. He has. Not just take the hitting out of it. Take the heroics in the 13th out of it. He's been brilliant behind the plate the whole postseason.
The whole postseason and all regular season. I remember the few times, Plawecki would want to come. They would want Plawecki to get the pitching matchups. It seemed like he was letting pass balls go. You could tell right when Plawecki was behind the plate, we're getting a couple pass balls today. Those are things that we take advantage of when we're watching Christian Vasquez, as good as he is behind the plate. And the baseball mind. And, like you made a good point. People hate on him for hitting 230, 240, whatever it is. I feel like his
between 230 and 250, like ever since he's got here.
Okay, yeah. So but what I've noticed with him is his situational hitting. Like, he can take a ball, poke the ball the other way anytime he needs to. He's going to hit the ball in the opposite field, it feels like, and some guys can't even do that.
Yeah, no, he don't, like I said, I will take his mind and the brilliant defensive ability, because we're going to need that. We're going to need those brilliant calls from behind the plate to win it all. In the next 8 wins that we're going to need, going to need that. I will take a double every 8 at bats for his defensive ability.
Yeah. And he's just, he's on top of everything back there, as a catcher should be. I think he's slept on, as Xander Bogaerts is, at shortstop for some reason. Nobody can tell me why he's slept on.
Talk about guys that like Tony Clark made a good point too. He said the middle of the Astros lineup is a buzzsaw. It is. It is. That's the heart of the Astros lineup. You can't ignore. They hit well. That whole, and it's not just the heart of it. That whole lineup hits well. You have got to be really, really careful with that entire lineup. They can hurt you from top to bottom, and it's dangerous. It really is. It's
you look at their.
It's going to be an adventure. It's going to be tough.
Their 10-1 game against the Chicago White Sox, which they just dominated that series. It was Jose Altuve with 3 hits, Michael Brantley with 3 hits, Carlos Correa went 2 for 4, Gurriel with 2 hits. That's all up and down the lineup. Tucker just and right
from top
field
to bottom, they can hit the baseball.
And they come out with a bunch of different lineups too. You don't know what you're going to see from them. Altuve is just, you hate to say it, he's hitting the baseball really well right now, and that green monster might be in his favor. Hopefully not.
He's good, man. As much as I don't like him, he's good. I can't take it away from him. Like I said, that whole team deserves a lot of credit, because in my eyes, they're not A+ in everything. They're not A+ in any aspect of that game. From the manager all the way down to the bat boy,
right.
But when everything is a B+, you can win a lot of games that way, because your whole team, there's not a lot of weak spots,
Yeah, man.
at least in the lineup. The pitching is it's like ours. There's, we're going to have to chase. I mean, I don't know how you feel, but we're going to have to chase starters by like the fifth inning, fourth, fifth. If we're going to have to chase their starters by the fifth inning
that's how it's going to be.
To do enough damage to win games.
Yeah. And what's worried about me is that our starters haven't been lasting much longer than that. And it's going to be a bullpen game. It's going to be a bullpen series. You just feel it. I mean, that's at least how I feel.
I mean, I know our bullpen is shaky, which it definitely is. But I give that, like, I think Cora is a better manager than Dusty Baker.
Easy money right there.
I just, I think Dusty's going to screw up he'll screw up, the management of the bullpen, and I think we'll be able to take it. Our hitting feasts on bullpens. When we can get into a bullpen, it's over.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah, just they hunt fastballs like it's nobody's business with Renfroe and Martinez and Schwarber and Raphael. I mean, don't throw a fastball to these guys.
The fact that they still try and challenge guys like Devers and Bogarts and Kike with fastballs, and they don't even locate it. They literally just rear back and throw it. And it's like just above the kneecap and like right over the heart of the plate. And then they wonder why like Devers hits it like out of the stadium.
Right.
Or like Kike hit it out of it doesn't even land in Fenway. It's gone. It's gone.
You have a better chance of throwing an off-speed pitch every time than trying to sneak a fastball by somebody. They're looking for that fastball. Yeah, they're gonna destroy it.
And if you're gonna throw heat, it seems like one of the weaknesses for the Sox is the high heat. JD chases it. Devers chases it. Christian Vasquez is another notorious high fastball that guy that just chases pitches. One of the guys that
will miss at him.
Huh?
Verdugo will swing and miss at him.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yep, him too. One of the things that worries me too is that lately, Hunter Renfroe has been in a bit of a hitting streak. I mean, a hitting slump. He's been in a little bit of a slump, and that's kind of worrisome to me there, because we're gonna need those those doubles from him.
The placement of the Red Sox lineup, you can put anywhere, any guy anywhere. How cool was it to see Schwarber leading off and like that was a ballsy, bold move to me.
It was. Kike was hitting. I mean, he's still hitting phenomenal in the 2 spot too, but Schwarber was that's a bold move, because right off the bat you got to face a guy who can hit the ball out of the park.
Right. And his situational hitting is, like I said, he can poke the ball somewhere if he needs to as well.
Yeah.
The only thing with him is not much speed coming out of the box right off the lineup. But
he's got the speed of like an army tank.
Right, but he'll hit it out of the ballpark, man. You give me a 1-0 lead right off the bat, I'll take it.
Oh no, absolutely, dude. The power that he brings to the plate can't be underestimated. It can't and shouldn't be underestimated at all. He's a dangerous hitter. And then what do you do? Pitch around, what do you walk him to pitch to Kike? Like,
right.
Not smart. And then you walk Hernandez, and who's hitting after him?
Right. You got middle of the lineup coming right up.
It's the heart of the lineup. It's Devers. It's interchangeable, right? It's going to be one of these 3 guys. It's going to be Devers, JD, and Bogey.
Right.
And like interchange any one of those 3. But do you want to pitch to any one of those 3 with 2 or 3 men on base? No, not a chance.
Not a chance. So they're going right. They're going to be going right after Schwarber, and hopefully he can jump on him early. Astros starter, we don't know yet. McCullers, obviously. Do we know anything more about him?
The extent that all I can see is that that it's severe elbow soreness, and he's listed as day-to-day. They're basically just going to take it every day as it goes, and probably just check in with him. But he had Tommy John, so it's like if that's an issue with that, because they did say it's an issue with the tendon in the elbow, which is like, or the ligament in the elbow, which if he can't pitch for them, that's huge. That's automatically a massive advantage in the Sox favor because they eliminate the best pitcher.
Yeah. And like I almost feel like I want him to go out there and pitch with a limp elbow so he can jump off.
That's what I'd rather see him try and gut it out and have us just take him for 6 runs in 6 runs in 2 innings.
Right.
And then get pulled.
Man, it's feeling like we got stuff on our side right now. We just keep this offense up. I mean, 8 wins to go. Can you believe this? Nobody even had us in the wild card.
From where we were, after the All-Star break, someone's talking. Oh, there we go. I thought I heard a background. I thought I heard something in the background. From where we were in the from where we were at the All-Star break to right now, like after the All-Star break, dude, it was dismay.
All-Star break killed us, man. That was scary.
It was despair for 2 months. They were bad. They were really bad. It was, I don't know if they got in their own head or I don't know if they just started if they were trying too hard, but man, did they hit that month-long skid caught like. So think about this, right? The Astros finished with 95 wins. We finished with 92.
Yeah.
If we'd have just won 3 more games,
right,
or 4 more, if we'd have won 4 more games, the home field advantage would be in Boston.
Yeah.
And that 1 month,
that
July
1 month
killed us.
July
absolutely crushed this team. They were just rolling headed into the All-Star break. It was nobody could even touch this team.
Yeah, and like think about Barnes too. I know it seems like forever ago. Like the bullpen was not bad early on. Barnes' stuff was untouchable. Ottavino looked really good. The only troubles we had were Garrett Richards, and he still worries me every time I see him getting up in the bullpen.
Oh, you mean you mean Joe Dirt's stunt double?
Yeah, let's get him off this squad. I've been saying it all season on this channel.
Dear Tay.
I've been saying it all season. There's got to be a guy out there that's better than Garrett Richards.
You want to know why they won't get rid of him, though? Here's why they're paying him $10 million. Yeah, they're not going to eat that. There's no way.
Eat that shit up.
They're not going to eat. They're not going to eat the $10 million. So we're going to have to deal with him for probably another season.
I can't do a whole nother season of Garrett Richards, man.
But that's why it's the contract.
Yeah,
they're. I think they have to eat it for what? I think they have to eat the contract for 1 more year, and then I think they can get rid of him.
Yeah, that was.
But yeah, think about that though. They paid him $10 million.
That's ridiculous. I thought it was going to be a good move.
I want to take Richards' money and give it to Tanner Houck, and just be like, no, take his Tanner. You get to take this money because you actually earned it.
Man, they should eat that money. I mean, there's got to be somebody out there that's better than him.
If they can find a trade partner, I would take anybody but him. Anyone, dude. Like, in all honesty, I would take anybody but him.
Dude, get Randy Johnson back on the hill. I mean, come on. Yeah, how old is he? 50 something?
Anyone, dude. I would take. How old's Pedro? I'd take him and throw him before I would.
Get Pedro out there. He looks good. That's pretty funny, man.
But that's why it's the money thing.
I just say eat it.
I want to get rid of him too. I'm just thinking how John Henry works, and he don't. He'll sit on the contract for another year. They might bury him in the bullpen and just use him as like an emergency guy. And maybe, you know what I mean?
Or a mop-up guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Henry is one of the best at listening to the fan base and working that into the success of the team. Somehow Richards is not going to be on the team next year. I'm going to call that right now.
I hope not, because it's he's just not good. He's been ridiculously bad. Like
He's the weakest spot on our whole team. Who's a weaker spot?
He is the weakest spot in the bullpen. I would rather throw Ottavino and Sawamura before I would throw him.
Dude, I'm a Sawamura fan. I don't know how he hasn't been great. I love Sawamura's.
You know how old he is? He's 37 years old.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
He's 37 years old.
He don't look 37, but he is.
That dude is. But see, I like him because he throws he throws a really good split-fingered fastball.
That splitter is so good.
It is. His split-fingered fastball is really good. And you ain't getting anything but a ground ball if you make contact with that pitch. It ain't going anywhere.
You're not hitting.
It's going to get chopped into the ground, and Devers is going to eat it, or Bogarts is going to pick it up and throw you out.
Yeah. As sure-handed as those guys are.
And he's semi-reliable. You
yeah.
know?
Yeah, I agree.
I've very rarely seen him. I think I've seen him give up big home runs twice this whole year.
I remember those. I think one was Atlanta. I don't know.
It was the Braves game, and he left that split finger hanging. He left that split finger up in the zone, and the dude hit it to the freaking moon.
I forgot who it was, but I think that. But was that the same game Arroyo hit the grand slam?
Yes, it was.
Or it might have been the same series, but it was around that same time.
It was the same. Yeah, no, that was game 2. It was the same series. It was the same series.
What's up, Missy B? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for being here. And as well as everybody else checking out the page, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We will be going live on Friday at 8:07.
Oh, yeah, guys. So if we haven't announced it yet, and I'll put it up on my Twitter too, and I'll make all the announcements, and we'll definitely do it up. But Sox Arizona, this guy is going to be live. We'll be back live calling Friday night's game 1 on my channel. So he will be a guest on my channel as well. And we'll try and push him closer, or as close as we can get him to that 1,000 mark.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate you coming over here today. And you guys are looking at the home of Red Sox baseball on YouTube. These are you're looking at it right here. It's been a wild season. I didn't expect us to be playing baseball this late in the season, but we're going live on Friday. And what else you got? Anything on Houston before we get out of here?
I don't know how you feel, man, but I'm quietly optimistic about this series. I at the most it might go 6 at the most, but I think we can beat this team, dude. I really do. I think we can beat this team. Like I said, our pitching is on par with theirs. And the bats are just coming in red hot. And I think, like I said, I think momentum is a very powerful thing. And I think Houston is going to sleep on us, dude. I really do too. I think Houston's going to sleep on us. I think that team, I think that fan base, I think they're going to sleep on us, and I think they're going to underestimate the Sox. And whether we get the first one or the second one and then go back to Boston and get the next 3, I'm telling you, they're gonna. I got a feeling that they're feeling some kind of way right now about us, and I think they can. I think they're going to underestimate the Sox, and I think it's going to come back to bite them. I really do. I think we can beat this team, and I think it's going to take no more than 6 games.
I don't think that's a cold take, or I don't think that's a hot take at all. But I think we win game 1. I think we split in Houston, and we come and win it at home, and we move on to the World Series.
Like I said, I'm quietly optimistic. I think a lot. Like
this is our toughest series of the whole postseason. Oh, no question.
Far. We've proven that we can beat the Dodgers. We can hit on par with them. Pitching's on par with them. And dude, to be honest, I'm more afraid of the Dodgers than I am San Francisco. I think we can handle San Francisco.
I think we can too, and I think we can handle the Dodgers. This Astros series is going to be tough. I really do. And if
the winner of this series is going to win the title this year.
100%, man. These two teams are so good. This Astros squad, what they've done all season, winning 95 games. They win 95.
95, yeah.
95 games. I mean, Red Sox 92 games. Like you said, a few games difference from home field advantage. If we have home field coming into this game, this series, forget it.
Yeah.
But after that post All-Star break, let alone the COVID outbreak, all that, which luckily healed over quickly, relatively.
Yeah, it didn't. I was actually surprised at how fast the team pushed through that.
Right.
It was like 2 weeks and that was just gone, like over, done with, gone. They were back to playing baseball.
Right. Because if I remember correctly, the Yankees had one before that, and it was huge news for a lot longer than that, right?
It was like 3 weeks or a month. It was a good month that they struggled with it.
And then the Sox one comes out, and I'm like, oh, here we go.
How'd that $320 million starter work out for you there?
Right.
Yankees?
Right.
I said, how'd that $320 million starter work out for them Yankees?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
What did we chase him in? What, 3?
I think he got 6 outs.
2 innings, right? Yeah.
Yep. He lasted 6 outs. Man, that guy.
This is why. So let me explain something to you. This and all of Red Sox Nation. This is why the Yankees will not be successful until they get a manager that's not a complete moron, and Cashman is gone. Because here's what they go after. This, to me, they have been in a desperate plea. They're like grasping at a ocean ring floating in the middle of a freaking hurricane, right? Just trying to stay relevant
for a decade.
What we have a bunch of guys that can situationally hit, and they hit for average, and if we need to spray the baseball around the field, and we can do it.
Yeah.
If we need to hit a home run, we can do it. There's guys on this team it's a good mix. Kike can hit for average, hit for power. The back end of it it's a good mix. The Sox are built to hit in all different situations. The Yankees are feast or famine, dude. Everyone in that lineup hits 220 to 240, and they hit 20 to 40 home runs with like 30 to 40 RBIs.
Right. And they bring in Rizzo and Gallo. What are you doing?
Which are career 230 guys.
Yeah.
And they hit, 20 to 30 home runs and maybe 40 to 50 RBIs. Nothing. That's not help at all. It's just that team.
They got a clean house. Cashman and Boone have got to go together.
Yeah. That's the only way to fix that team. Yeah. That is literally the only way to fix that team.
And they have the highest. I mean, like you said, they $300 million pitcher. They have the highest payroll in all of baseball for the last 20 years. They haven't won a playoff game in how long? They haven't won a World Series in 10 years.
2009 was the last time they sniffed the World Series.
Yeah.
They haven't even been. No, there's.
I think it's exactly what you said. It's that directional hitting, and I think that's escaped baseball for the most part around the MLB. But the Red Sox know how to do it. Some other teams know how to do it. The Giants are very good at directional hitting, situational hitting. Teams like that, teams like the Yankees aren't going to be successful doing that.
Why do you think Tampa Bay's been so successful? Because those guys hit 260, 290, and they spray the ball around the field. How many doubles did the Tampa Bay Rays have? They hit. That's what they do. They hit screaming line drives where people aren't, and they do it perfect. But see, that's situational baseball. Situational baseball gets you into the playoffs. These feast or famine home run teams go nowhere.
And not only the feast or famine home runs, they don't steal bases. Their pitching is shaky. Yeah. Their bullpen is lackluster. I mean, let's just say we're
here, dude.
Yeah, we're lucky to be in this spot.
We're here because Cora has managed the crap out of this last month, and that the situational baseball for the Sox when they need it is there. They lock it in, and they lock it in, and they play. Then they play. They do what they need to do. That's what the good teams in baseball do. They lock it in and they focus when they need to. Why do you think Tampa's there? Why do you like the best 8 teams are in the league are the ones that can play small ball, they can play situational baseball. That's what they do. They're not these feast or famine home run teams. They don't ever make it that far.
The game has stayed the same no matter what ESPN tells you, no matter what analytics tell you. The game has always stayed the same. You hit the ball where they're not, and that's not just hitting it into the seats. There are so many holes on a baseball field for you to hit the ball, and these guys are trying to hit that launch angle every single time. Baseball has stayed the same. You hit the ball in a gap, you get to run around those bases, and the Giants have done it all year. They won so many games. Like you said, the Rays hit countless doubles off the wall in the gap. Red Sox.
Christian Vasquez has hit the other night down the third baseline.
Yes.
Hit that banged off the monster, made it all the way back to the monster. Just a hard hit line, just a hard hit ground ball that got past the third baseman, right down the third baseline.
Yep.
That's an automatic in Fenway and in any stadium. You hit it down the left field line and all the way back to the warning track.
Into the corner, you're on second
automatic
base.
Double.
Yeah, you're on second base. What's up, Grego? Welcome to the stream.
What's up, guys? Appreciate
hi
y'all stopping
to Missy.
But yeah, man, it's so. Let me ask you something. What are you so who's gonna be the X factors in this game for the Sox in this series for the Sox?
This series
who's gonna show up?
100% will come down to we're gonna get a big game from Nathan Eovaldi. Somewhere in there, we're getting a big outing from Nathan Eovaldi. We're gonna have to see the back end of the bullpen come out big probably in one of these games. It's gonna be Barnes or Ottavino. X factor offensively is going to be Xander Bogaerts. I'm going to say that the playoff experience, the veteran leadership. I'll take those 3 guys: Barnes, Ottavino together. Xander Bogaerts going to have a big series, and Nathan Eovaldi going to have a big time appearance.
All right, I'm going to say Hunter Renfroe comes out of his slump in this series, and you're going to see some big time hits from Renfroe because he's been in a wicked slump, and I think he's going to come out of it. So I'm going to say Renfroe is going to be an X factor. I'm going to go with from the hitting side, I'll go with Hunter Renfroe. From the bullpen side, I'm going to say you're going to see the brilliance continue from Tanner Houck, and then you're going to see Pivetta step up on the back end of it, and you're going to see him pitch phenomenal to this series because he's stepped it up lately too, man. He's pitched great, and I love the attitude too that he's got. That new just get out of that freight train, get out of my way attitude. He was challenging people the other night, just literally just rearing back and throwing that heat at him. That high 99 miles an hour, just going right at people with that fastball, and they couldn't touch it.
Here's my fastball, try to hit it.
Here it is, kid. Yeah, basically. And I just want to. So I think those 3 are gonna come up huge. We're gonna see contributions, I think, from a lot of guys that are in slumps, and I think they're gonna break out of them.
Yeah. I think this team is hot right now. They're putting the pieces together. Alex Cora is a genius manager. We're gonna iron out all the issues. What's going on, Boston sports fan? Glad you could join us, my man. Thank you for being here. Says my top YouTubers in the building. Thank you for being here.
We appreciate it. We definitely appreciate it.
Clip Trip, my man, fellow Giants fan. Hey, guys, love to see both you working together. This series could be one of the highest scoring ALCS. We talked about this. Both offenses just going to go nuts. Hopefully this back end of our bullpen can shut them down a little bit. Let's see who else we got in here. Bill Carmody has joined the stream. Thank you for being here, Bill.
So for everybody who's tuning in, guys, we are going to be live on my channel Friday for game 1. So Sox Arizona, this guy is going to be coming over to my channel, and we will be going live Friday night for game 1. We'll be calling that game together, watching the Sox stomp a Boston mud hole into the Houston Astros.
I'm going to be going nuts, man, just so you know. I can't keep my shit together.
Believe me, I refilled the fridge with adult sodas today, so we're good to go.
Yeah, we'll be having a good time on Friday, guys. Make sure you come join us.
I'm looking for. I want to see them make a statement. I want to
Yeah.
see the Red Sox make a freaking statement on Friday.
Yeah.
Y'all doubted us, and watch what happens.
Right. And it was not only the rest of the American League, they didn't even think we could get out of the AL East. And
dude, the talking heads on ESPN thought we didn't like going into the Tampa series. Come on, man. Did you listen to the talking head? Like nobody picked us to go through.
nobody. And look at us. We get rid of both of the top AL East teams. I mean, I want to go win a World Series, of course, obviously. This season is a success. We knocked out the Tampa Bay Rays and the New York Yankees from playoff contention. And now let's go.
The Yankees one was sweet.
That's so
I enjoyed that for like up until like I enjoyed that for 5 whole days, just knocking them out and getting.
And leading up to that game, I think we had 3 days. We knew what it was going to be. 2 days.
We knew we were going to face them. Yeah.
Yeah. I was sick to my stomach, getting excited. We beat them. Coming into the Rays series, I'm feeling perfectly fine. I had no nerves going into that. I'm like, we just beat the Yankees. Let's go, man.
The Rays worried me. They did. They worried me. They were. That's a good ball club. That's solid. Yeah. I knew the Sox were going to have to hit well to beat that team, and they did.
They did.
So the game 4 was. They were like we talked off camera. The impressive part about it was even though they were hitting balls that were getting caught constantly, they were hit. That's why they were changing pitchers, because we had the timing down on every one of their guys.
Yeah,
the Sox were on them. They were on everybody that they threw at them.
And the Rays,
they might have, it might have taken a while for them to break through and get hits to get through, but they were hitting right. Like the ball was getting put into play. It might have, been caught a few times, but they were on them, man. They were on those pitchers all night.
Yeah. And the Rays played well offensively too. That comeback, that 5-1 comeback, they're fighting for their season to stay alive. But
that game 4, the sense, and I'm going to tell you, just in the stadium, you could, how you can just sense when you could sense that they were desperate. They were changing pitchers every 2 outs.
Yeah, that's desperation mode.
7 pitchers in that game.
Man,
7.
that's why baseball is the best, man. The game inside the game, trying to just crawl your way through each and every pitch to get through this game and to try to come back.
You could tell that the Rays, everybody in the stadium by the 3rd inning knew that it was desperation mode for them.
Right.
They were fighting for their literal playoff life. This was it for them.
How about the Rays just so good in the regular season twice in a row and just nothing in the playoffs? I mean, they played well, but they don't have a World Series team.
See, if I'm a Rays fan, I'm putting it on Dusty Baker. He should have. McHugh let up 2 hits. I mean, granted, he let up 2 big hits, and Dusty didn't have any confidence in him. McHugh's one of the best pitchers they have. McHugh and McClanahan are the 2 best pitchers they had.
And what was it?
He should have rode McHugh out for at least 4 or 5 innings. He yanked him way too early, and then McClanahan pitched the other night.
He got shelled.
Inning, he pitched the other night a lot, so he's probably He probably doesn't have half as much energy as he would.
Right.
As soon as we chased McHugh, it was over. It was over.
Yeah, McClanahan got shelled that game.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was just impressive to see them hit the Sox simply that night were just not going to be denied. They wanted it more.
Yeah. Yeah. You can tell this team wants it, and Alex Cora is such a good motivator.
When I tell you they're motivated, it's
you got to see it firsthand.
It's on a different level. On a different level. They are. Alex Cora has never looked more, and the team has never looked more locked. They're locked in, dude. They know they can sniff it now, dude. 8 wins, 8 wins, and we get the trophy.
Well, for our 10th World Series, man, 8 more wins. So,
I said, I'm quite. So before we get out of here, man, what do you got? What do you got for? First of all, what do you got for a final score for Friday for Game 1? Who do you think's
Game 1?
Win it?
Without knowing the starters, that's tough, but let's do it anyways. Red Sox going to win this one. Final score 7-3. What do you got?
I will take. I'm going to take 6-4 Sox.
6-4 Sox. Okay, so we're
4 Red Sox.
It's one of those games where
now for the series. Who
for the series. We are going to win game 1. We're going to split on the road. Like I said, we're going to come back to Boston and win 2 of them. And the Astros sneak 1 out. And we go into Houston and win in game 6.
I am with you there. But the Red Sox fans are going to get to see it in Boston.
Okay, so
we're not losing. We're going to take one in. We're going to take one in Houston, and they're not getting a win in Boston. So we win. Then we take one in Houston. We split in Houston, and we come back and take them out. Take them out in 5.
Will you throw up your name right there so I can put it on the bar so we can send people over to your channel
for tomorrow?
Yeah, for Friday. What's is it just Beantown Breakdown one word?
It's just Beantown Breakdown. Yeah.
So guys,
so Friday, I'll put it up on Twitter, guys. I'll put it up on my Twitter. I'll tag Sox Arizona in it, so he'll be in it too. But yeah, we'll be calling Friday night's game together. The ALCS. Our Red Sox, 8 wins away, man.
Dude,
we're just gonna knock them out. Just knock them out. 8 wins, 8 wins at a time. Check one off at a time.
Beantown Breakdown, I appreciate you joining me. This is really my first time trying this. This is my first StreamYard stream, so I appreciate everybody joining me for the test run. We will look forward to doing this in the future, and like we've been saying, Friday live for the ALCS. Let's go beat those Astros. Anything else to say, Bobby, before we get out of here?
No, we're gonna take them Astros out.
Yeah, let's go beat those boys.
We're going to go beat them boys. We're going to go beat them boys Friday night, and we're going to beat them in the series, too. 8 wins to go, man. 8 wins to go to a title.
Let's go, Sox fans. We will see you Friday. Beantown Breakdown live at 8:07 Eastern. Let's get it. Go Sox.
Much appreciated, guys. Go Sox. Let's get it.
We're out of here.